Well, congratulations, everybody. It is Sky God's Day. It is the year 1500 by the Varine year, which is the Asterian calendar used in most of the world. Sky God's Day is the beginning of the year. It's when we remember the calamity from the skies, which is when the enormous explosion changed the face of our world, and where actually you can see it on right here. The maelstrom appeared during the calamity when the heavens fell, and brought to us the teachings of the sky gods. It's a major celebration across the continent, and it counts for each of you in a very particular and specific way, which is that this is a festival that you're all going to have to take into consideration and think about attending, participating in, whatever you see as appropriate within your individual realms. Here we have Jisha of House Dressan, Count of Asacia. He is the leader of the trade faction called House Dressan. Here we have Archmagus Enrisa Rilan, who is the leader of the magic faction called the Northwest Mages Society. Here we have Honored Orlena Rolith, who is the leader of Earth and Sky, a faith faction. Here we have, it's hard to even point at this weirdo over here. Here we have Grand Princess Severina of Lightborn. Her Highness is the Sovereign of Cadelania. And then lastly over here we have Guildmaster Bethlina Nerisania, who is the leader of the Deathworkers Guild. Okay, so the first step of our season will be adjusting loyalty. The total on the die roll and comparing to the chart will tell you what your loyalty becomes after rolling compared to its existing loyalty, if that makes sense. The system has a tendency to slowly favor degradation, just because people, if you do nothing, are not going to be loyal to you. So it's important that you do something to keep their loyalty. Is everyone done with loyalty and comfortable with it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Then we move on to step 2, which is collecting wealth and influence. On all of your faction record sheets, you should have your income and expenses clearly delineated. So this should be just a basic subtraction. We can talk about step 3 right now. Step 2 is pretty simple. You have to decide, Cadelania, first of all, whether you're going to be taxing at normal levels in the counties that you rule, or whether you want to raise it to high levels or drop it to low levels. And you need to decide whether you're going to tax anybody else's assets.
So I maintain that I will not be levying any extra taxes on factions this season.
Everybody heard that, right?
Yes.
No taxes. Okay.
No taxes.
Ah,
No
praise
extra
the sky gods.
No
I did.
extra taxes.
Happy Sky God's Day.
Exactly.
Sky gods.
We all have festivals we gotta pay for.
And we gotta pay for those festivals.
Then we go to step 4, calculate and pay expenses. All 3 of these steps kind of blend together, but they technically go in a certain order just in case there's ever conflict based on which happened first.
Since obviously we're going to be attending and holding a grand festival, when should we spend that? Now as part of our expenditures?
No, in the month when you do that. Well, then the next thing we really need to do, and we could have done this earlier, but everybody needs to roll their initiative, which is a d20 plus your highest faction skill. Okay, so the highest was 23, right?
Yep.
Okay, that means that Earth and Sky is going to go first, which means that Elke, the Honored Orlena Rolith, will go first. So I'll change everybody's names to who they actually are here. All right, so let's talk about the court of Earth and Sky. So where's your seat of power?
My seat of power is in the county of Lottram in Leonad.
So Leonad's actually very civilized. It has the most advanced Academy of Wizards in the region. So they're very educated. I think that's actually a feature of the county, isn't it? Educated?
It is.
It's ruled by the Lord High Justice, Simon Adair. Simon Adair is a charismatic and enigmatic figure. We could talk about him for a long time. If you want the Grand Herald's opinion on his social life, he's the kind of guy that makes the series tabloids. So tell me about your court in Leonad.
Well, my faction, the Priests of Earth and Sky, our religion, has been here for some time, centuries, in fact, with other leaders prior to me, and since I came into power, I've been positioned here. We get along well in this county. The people seem to like us. We don't really have any issues here. The other members of my faction and I, we like the forest, and we like the beautiful nature that surrounds this area. It's a good tribute to the sky gods to be surrounded by their power and their creation. This is a good central area as well from the standpoint of a leader, to where we can spread our religion and help the people of this region. I think it's a good place for our court to be situated.
Well, Your Eminence, I do need to point out that Cadelania has a bit of a chip on their shoulder. You would think the elves would like us coming here with all of our nature and so forth, but they keep saying that we're outdated and primitive. I for one, am not primitive, nor are you. What say you, courtiers?
I don't understand why, they say because we like trees that they sometimes call us primitive, but I'm certain that the elves themselves tend to like their trees as well.
For whatever reason, we're associated with rebellion and crime in Cadelania.
Those are just rumors.
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't saying they were true. I was just, we for some reason, have this association.
That's poppycock.
I would never encourage such things as a leader, and I have not heard tell of it.
As the Chamberlain, I can say the money's all coming from legitimate places, of course.
How are your relations with, in general, the temperature of the people in Catalania? How are our relations?
In general, relations have been stable in Catalania. I haven't seen any ill will, or notable issues. However, it has recently come to my attention that our relations in Aelith have become more of a problem quite recently. I'm not sure what's happened these past months, but we seem to have developed some issues with the people there.
It's strange that your relations have deteriorated with Aelith, considering their values of community and nature. It seems that our relationship should be stronger.
Yes,
Perhaps.
I believe that, in these coming months I shall make some efforts to strengthen our roots there and connect with the people and the community. I think it would bring great value to our organization, to bolster our ties there and to get to the root of what the problem is. So I vow that I shall spend some time amongst our followers in Aelith.
Perhaps that's where you should celebrate Sky Gods
Sky
Day.
Gods Day. I was about to suggest the same. Perhaps you should go amongst the people there and
Sky Gods.
hold a special festival.
Well, I do have to point out... Oh, I'm sorry, Your Eminence.
No. Go
You
on.
would need to travel all the way from Lottram to Aelith in order to celebrate the festival in Aelith. And is there really any benefit to celebrating in Aelith as opposed to Lottram?
Does traveling cost money? Because if it costs money, maybe we shouldn't do it.
I think perhaps I personally may celebrate the Sky Gods Day festival here in Lottram. But I shall hold another festival in Aelith.
That's an excellent idea, Your Eminence. You could sponsor additional Sky Gods Day festivals there.
I shall also send some emissaries to Aelith to spread our word of good faith.
Out of
Advice.
character is Belshana here. What actions are you proposing?
I would like to, at some point this season, spread propaganda through Gralehan to bolster our loyalty level there.
But the festival, you're going to go ahead and start that right now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It will cost you 5 wealth, and will give a +10 to your loyalty roll next season. You don't have to roll anything right now. Counselors, does anyone have anything to say about this other than, excellent job, Your Eminence, good.
Out of character, can you tell me again, as far as the action of attending the Sky Gods Festival, it will cost 1d6 gold and it will require a roll?
Yes, you will have to pay 1d6 wealth. You must spend 1 month, and you must make a culture or order skill test.
What's the difficulty on that?
It's not a big deal. It's just a 10.
If I don't have any culture or order, then
Okay.
that just means it's a straight no
20.
modifier roll.
What about your advisor? What is their skill bonus?
Faith.
Oh.
But I'm considering hiring another advisor.
Well, that's a good idea in a way. Do you have a court of at least 2?
No.
To have a second advisor, the first thing you need to do is use an edict to raise your court to 2. Then you would be able to hire an advisor, which I guess could be an order or culture advisor is what you're talking about.
And I could do that as a
that
free action.
advisor attend the festival.
Okay.
So edict is an action. Is that what you want to do right now?
Yes.
Oh, my lady, we are going to improve the court? Does anyone disagree?
No, in fact, I'm in full support of this, considering when you travel, you take your court with you. So I think having a larger court will have a better impression. So when you send your court or anywhere you might go, it will just, leave a better impression.
Okay, that is an edict to raise the court. I can't see any nasty consequences that are going to result from this at this time. All you have to do for an edict is pay 1 wealth and spend the action. So we've improved the court. That's a big deal. We are hiring dozens of new people and in preparation to be the staff of your new advisor. Because keep in mind, each advisor certainly has a staff. I have many lay sisters and lay brothers who help me help you, Your Eminence.
And I assume they all want to be paid.
No. We are not so crass as to take a salary. We work for room and board and clothing and, well, occasional entertainment and, I think we'll stop there.
We do appreciate everything you do for us.
Of course, Your Eminence. I live to serve. All right, who was next on initiative after 20 whatever you rolled? Anybody get something in the team?
Everyone rolled pretty low, but the next best was Alan, I think, with a 9.
All right.
So, Jisha, where's your seat of power?
Where's my seat? Oh, of Asacia. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, Asacia in Keto It's the southernmost province. It borders. It's right there. It borders Cadelania. And Jisha is the feudal lord of Asacia, the count. But Jisha does not currently have an arrangement with his liege that he's like independently managing Asacia. He's, the count title matters a lot here in ROLE play, but doesn't currently have much of an effect in ROLL play. What's more important mechanically is that Jisha is the leader of the trade faction called House Dressan, which is very renowned in the area because, as we mentioned in the last scene, House Dressan he is cousins to both the royal Keshrigans of Aelith and the royal Borgans of Kedohal. Jisha, what can you tell us about your court in Asacia?
Well, we seem to be doing very well business-wise for right now. And I think with the steady progress that we're making, it is time to get in touch with my cousin a little more and try to improve relations to make us a stronger country. So I am going to meet the sovereign of
Kedohal?
Yeah, the sovereign of Kedohal.
Okay. Velric of House Borgan, king of Kedohal. They're not a well-liked family. They're kind of boorish by reputation. I suppose, first of all, courtiers, do you have anything to say to His Excellency about this general proposed attitude before we move on to talking about specific actions?
Well, what is the purpose? Are you of strengthening your ties with them? It could leave you, I don't know, vulnerable in other places. Not possible.
Yeah, it could potentially compromise your neutrality. That's true. Kedohal is actively hostile with Cadelania.
It could be seen as you taking a side.
Well, true,
That,
but they're already relatives, so I feel like people already make that assumption anyway.
That's how I was feeling about it.
well, there's a difference between an official relationship and unofficial relationship. Are you unofficially making your relationship stronger, or are you want to put it on the table for the public to know that you're officially, getting on board with them?
That is a good question. I think the best approach, even if he is my cousin, is to try to stay at a neutral, unofficial kind of deal here, because we're trying to do trade with as many people as we can. We're trying to get as much wealth as we can here. Profit is the goal here. So I say,
Well, Your Excellency, I mean, just because you have friendly relations with Kedohal, I don't think that necessarily means that you must have unfriendly relations with Cadelania. It will just be more of a delicate balance to make sure that Cadelania understands that this is purely a business relationship and that you are trying to facilitate business amongst the area.
yeah, that is the correct image that I would like to convey here.
Are we talking about approaching House Borgan using the diplomacy?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That would be a public thing.
Okay. The second question is, if we approach House Borgan in diplomacy, what should we ask for?
Well, I need to look into their assets. What does House Borgan have?
That would be espionage.
I could assist with that, Your Excellency.
And that'll use up one of my my actions, wouldn't it?
Diplomacy and espionage are both faction actions. You won't be able to do both at once. You'll just be choosing one. This is the opportune time for me to tell everyone, if you do engage in espionage, all you need to say right here to all of us, your courtiers, is that you're going to engage in espionage. If you do engage in espionage, private message me.
Just a general look at your assets reveal that you could, build your network a little bit more in Kedohal. There's room to grow for you in Kedohal.
Sure, yeah, I was thinking of building some roads there, and I guess I would still need his permission to do so.
You would, but you don't need diplomacy for that necessarily.
Well, you could create an asset in Mintaka to prevent them from expanding in Kedohal. No one's in Mintaka yet.
Yeah.
We are bringing up a third potential action other than diplomacy and espionage. We are now considering creating an asset.
In order to create an asset in Mintaka, would that require diplomatic action first, or is there...
For that single thing, no, not necessarily. Obviously, your relationship with the sovereign affects your role to create an asset in Mintaka.
So you can preempt that action by going into diplomacy and just specifically asking for that action.
That, among other things. That's why
Right.
everybody's moving to the diplomacy action on page 43. Again, only if Your Excellency is sure that diplomacy is the route that we're taking.
Well, diplomacy would be simply just to beef up our relationship with the Borgian.
Right. Everyone go to page 43, look at diplomacy, and as courtiers, think about what you want to advise His Excellency to offer and ask for, and what you can think of that might affect this situation. You're in Asacia, which is just one county away from Oniaden, which is where House Borgin is. I, unfortunately, have to bow out of this discussion because I now have to take the role of King Borgin. So, while I think about King Borgin's attitude towards this, the rest of you discuss. I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with cows, but, you know. We got certain industries we favor here, and I do support my workers. So, cousin, I mean, what is it exactly you're looking for here? First thing you're going to have to do is actually perform the diplomacy action, of course. You're real close to his seat of power, so that's not a big deal, the travel. Diplomacy itself is going to cost you 1 wealth. It's a culture-based action, so your culture skill will matter. You can spend wealth and influence to affect this, and your relationship matters. Your current relationship is just aligned, so again, what is this all about, cousin?
So, cousin, I'm here because I seek your strength and support as I make trade in the land of Kidoha. In return, I will provide more trade networks in your region with your influence as long as I can have trade routes as well. So you get more roads and I get to do more business.
That all sounds good, cousin. But if we're going to make moves, we're going to make moves. And I'm going to need some commitments from you.
Depends what kind of commitments, cousin.
Well, we have a lot of friends and we have a lot of enemies. We have a lot of people who are reasonable when working with Kidoha, and we have a lot of people that try to hold us to a standard they don't hold anybody else to. Just look how people like Quamas and like Asteria, and all they do is rattle sabers at each other. But when I don't put up with that snotty elf talking down to me, then everybody says I'm the bad guy. So we need to draw a line in the sand. Now, cousin, I know that you're a friend of the family. I know that you care about us. So I just need to point out that Leonad has taken Kidoha for a ride. And we need to get out of that agreement, and we need to get them out of this country.
Well, I could talk to Leonad for you, but I can't make any promises.
Oh, so you're going to take responsibility for getting Leonad out of my country. Get them out of my woods. You're going to do that?
Well, I can't make promises, like I said, cousin. But I will.
That's what we're doing here is we're making promises, right? Do you want me to say that I support your trade routes and then I just, deny them all because I'm in the mood? No, we're making a deal here.
Well, I guess I could check that out first, but I'm not going to shake any hands unless I know what.
You telling me that you came here unprepared and you aren't ready to talk to me?
Well, I'm not going to go against my business, my customers.
I see.
You have a chance here to make some more profit. And I guess in your own personal way, you could probably arm yourself better against those enemies, if you catch my drift. But...
So tell me, what kind of profit am I going to be seeing? And what kind of non-promise are you asking me to make?
Well, for one, if I build these roads, then you'll be able to tax anyone that wants to make business on these roads. So you might have a vested interest in these roads being made. And they'd be on my dime, so you wouldn't have to waste any of your wealth to do so. I'm basically building you roads for free.
All right, well, let me call in the bureaucrats and see if they can write out all the figures for how much nothing is going to cost. How about that?
Sure.
It's pretty inconsequential overall, but he's a little just apathetic, maybe even slightly hostile to the nothing. So I'm going to set your difficulty at 15. we have to consider the difference in your courts. Your court is a 1. Oniadian, the capital of Kedoha, has a prestige rating, I think, doesn't it? I think you have an asset there. It should be on your domain sheet, or I can look it up. But I'm pretty sure they have prestige.
Yeah, they have 1 prestige.
Mhm.
Okay. So his effective court is 2. Then we're comparing your culture skills. Is not cultured. But neither are you. So that's not going to get involved. Let's see here. It looks like you are rolling a d20 -1, or we could say that your difficulty is a 16, either way. So you can spend wealth or influence to reduce this difficulty from 15 to as low as 2, because 1 always fails. Do you want to spend anything on improving the roll?
Yeah, I could spend something, because I've only spent 1 wealth so far, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so what if I wanted to, say, spend 2 wealth and 3 influence?
So you're spending 2 wealth and 3 influence, meaning you spent a total of 3 wealth and 3 influence on this diplomacy, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected to pay.
Okay. I think I'll roll this one for you to keep you in suspense.
Yeah,
So
you can do that.
it's an 11 or higher. I'm sorry to tell you, but the number came up to, let's see if you can see this fine.
3.
3.
Oof.
So
Close.
your diplomacy action failed, but I would say, going back to my role as your Grand Herald, Your Excellency, it sounds like you learned a lot about your cousin at this meeting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Certainly not a waste of time.
Who is next on the initiative order after Jisha?
That would be the Northwest Mages Society.
So, I guess my first question to the Northwest Mages Society is, where's your seat of power?
I think it's in Onedian.
The capital of Kedoha, which means that just like going on right now, you are aware that that House Dressan is meeting with House Borgen, and that the expulsion of Leonid came up. I mean, that's here. That is the rumors in this very
I
city.
mean, that's good, because I was thinking about trying to do that anyway. Trying to get an advisor is a free action, right?
That's correct.
Hiring an advisor, yes.
Yeah, so I think I would like a culture advisor with a +2 and who can cast realm spells.
I don't think you can do that with a culture advisor. Let me double check.
Oh, it's true. You're right. That might only be a faith or magic.
I think he's
Yes,
correct.
what I
about
thought it was too.
No, on page 27, we're very clear. If a leader wishes a faith or magic advisor to have realm magic abilities.
Okay, well then forget it. That was sort of just a little extra bonus since I'm a magic faction anyway. So yes, I'd like to get a +2 culture advisor.
Okay, that will cost you 2 wealth and 2 influence. Can you name and describe said culture advisor?
Well, I'd probably
Continues.
prefer somebody, since we're a magic faction, who is magical, so it's probably something akin to a bard.
Just have the advisor named before we get to your initiative again for me, okay? You don't need it to be right this minute. What is your other action that you're taking though?
Well, now that I have the cultural advisor, now I want to use them to do the festival.
So that's going to cost you 1d6 wealth. I'll roll it for you. Man, you know, when I ended up with these pink dice out of my box, they're a little infamous for rolling 20s and cutting off people's heads. And
Mhm.
so far in this game, they're not really favoring the players that well.
It's a
Oof, is
five.
that 5? Wow.
They're notorious for that.
So
Moment of
I have the advisor's name. The advisor's name is Engel Meyer.
So you spend an action, or actually in this case, Engel spends the action, and Engel has a +2 on this roll, and it's a difficulty of 5. I'll let you roll. I'm feeling forgiving. So you just need to roll a 3 or higher on a d20.
And how much should I spend on the 1d6 roll?
5. You didn't see that? 5.
I wanted to make sure I got the notes there. So I'm not spending anything to boost the roll. I'm just going to make the roll. And I got a 20, so whatever. It was great.
Huh.
I guess Angle does a really good job. Good job.
This is not technically a faction action. On a faction action, if you roll a 20, not only do you succeed, but you get a bonus influence because you did so amazingly well.
Right.
But this not being a faction action, and you used an advisor, then all I'm really going to say is kudos. Good job. You threw a great festival. But I have, news for you. Don't know whether we want to call it good or bad, but you still haven't used your first action.
Right. No, I have seen that now. So the first thing I want to do is we're on the verge of having at least half of Cadelania's magic assets, which will give us a bonus to loyalty rolls. So let's find a place in Cadelania to bump up one. And then
So you're going to enhance an asset rather than create an asset.
Yes, I will. I do intend to try to create an asset and push out Leonad. However, let's get the bonus on our Cadelania loyalty rolls. So let me pick a problem.
It looks like you could choose Rolaria, Sevibath, or Trorel.
Okay, let's try to boost the magic asset in Trorel from a 2 to 3.
All right, Trorel it is. From a 2 to a 3, you said?
The booze flowing and the party going. Okay, that's your job.
Does anyone else have a magic asset in Trorel?
No.
No, it's just the Northwest Mages Society.
What is the level of Trorel?
Trorel itself is a 3.
Okay. And you're going from a 2 to a 3. What is your relationship with Grand Princess Severina?
It's aligned.
Okay. This is a official relationship that matters.
Yes.
What is the loyalty of Trorel to the Northwest Mages Society?
It's also what the default, which I think is aligned.
All right. Well, it's going to cost you 3 wealth and 3 influence to attempt it.
Okay, and then what is the difficulty?
The difficulty is 10 plus the current asset level, so 12. I guess the next question I have, fortunately, Our Lady High Chancellor has a direct line of communication to the Catalanian royal court. Does Grand Princess Severina approve, disapprove, or stay neutral in applying her order asset in this county to the Northwest Mages Society, raising their magic asset?
I have a question as on behalf of, I guess, the Grand Princess Severina. Would her relationship with Leonad matter in this? Or since there's no other assets in the county?
Officially, no. Though you do have to keep in mind, as a free action, anyone can drop their relationship with you for no reason, if they so desire. So, might Leonad respond? I mean, I guess maybe, possibly. But there's nothing about this, because keep in mind, Leonad doesn't have a magic asset here. So
Right.
There's nothing that by default is saying that Leonad's gonna be pissed off, but it certainly sends a slight message.
Well, I would like to remain neutral then. The Grand Princess would like to remain neutral.
That itself sends a slight message, not only to the Northwest Mages Society, but to good old Velric Borden.
Does my magic skill affect this roll here?
Your magic skill does. It matters on this roll. Yeah, that's true. So you're 12. What's your magic skill? A 3?
2.
Okay, so the difficulty's 10. You
All right.
can spend wealth or influence on this. Yeah, so I think you're just rolling a d20 for a 10 or higher, and you can spend on it if you want, wealth or influence.
I'm going to spend 4 wealth and 5 influence to bring it to being a 2+. Oh, I'm sorry. Four of each to bring it to a 2+, not 9.
Okay, sure. But I do need to point something out to Her Highness back in
Mhm.
Lightborn. You can spend against them if you want.
I'm not going to spend any.
Okay, all right. We're at a 2+. We're at a 2+. That's so tense.
Well, do you want to roll or should I roll?
I guess I better roll. This
Yeah,
die is known to it rolls 20s to kill people, right? So it should roll a 20 for you, right?
Hopefully. Did you roll a 1? Did you roll a freaking 1?
Seriously? I'm not letting you roll my die.
Oh my god.
Ain't doing it.
Son of a gun.
No.
It seems the sky gods themselves didn't want that to happen.
Them is such a good party.
Man.
Who's next in the initiative order?
I think it's me.
Yeah, because I have a 4.
Right, I rolled a 5.
Okay, let me make everybody. Do you have an advisor? You do.
I do.
All right.
Guild secretary.
Everybody take a look at the Deathworkers Guild and prepare yourself for dignity, discretion, and reverence. Do pay attention to your values because that's what determines your award units at the end of the session. Guildmaster Narasania, where is your seat of power?
In Lightborn.
In the capital of Cadelania. Okay. You've taken advantage. They have prestige there. You benefit from that.
Oh, good.
Actually, our prestige is children.
What?
No.
No?
You have a feature in Chilidric called Beautiful, which enhances effective prestige by 1. Your actual prestige construction is in Lightborn. I think it's, what is it, a level 2 palace or level 1 monument? I don't know. I'm not really looking at Catalania.
I think it's a palace. Last
It's
I
a
remember,
palace?
it was a palace.
I'll double check just in case, because this is going to matter for you and for the Grand Princess.
See, Lightborn has a palace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So that means even though both of you started with the default court of 1, the 2 of you are in Lightborn, subject to Severina's approval. She could turn this against you if she wanted to. You get a bonus of 2, so your effective court is a 3, and that can be very helpful in diplomacy.
With all the news that we've been getting, I believe that there's an opportunity for the Deathworkers Guild to begin enhancing an asset as well as address the challenges related to the festival. Since Kitaha's loyalty actually, with the people, the loyalty with the county is actually increased, there's an opportunity to enhance the Haggard's Dale asset from a 0 to a 1, which would be a great benefit right away in Kitaha. And
Your Excellency, are you suggesting that to handle these 2 things at once, you would like me to arrange and hold the festival on your behalf? Or are you saying you would like me to go enhance the asset?
I would like you to enhance the asset, and I will stay and take part or assist with the festivities.
As you wish.
Does anyone in the court disagree or have any comments to make?
It's a wise choice. Enhancing that asset would certainly benefit the Deathworkers Guild. Your Excellency, I agree with your actions.
I can't see any reason why a bad thing to increase your power.
That's 2 clear actions. The festival. Which one do you want to handle first?
Let's do the festival first, since that's pretty much right on location.
Okay. Well, since I already stole someone else's money, I feel I have to steal yours in the same method.
I understand.
It's a 1. It's a 1.
Okay, it's a 1. I was ready to pay a bunch, and then no, the Northwestern Guild, Mages Society took care of this already. Oh, really?
Yeah, the Northwest Mages Society already put on a big show, so we can just
And I'm pretty sure you only have to roll a 2 or higher in order to.
I have a +3. Yes.
So there's no reason to bid anything. I mean, you can't bid for this anyway. It doesn't matter.
I don't think I can. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is a challenge. So I'm gonna roll.
You roll a 1.
I roll a 1.
Oh, baby. Oh.
It's okay.
Oh,
These things happen.
It does.
Yeah, they have it.
It's fine.
well, that means you lose 5 influence.
Okay.
So next we move to your enhancing an asset in Haygord's Dale, right?
Correct.
Does anyone else have any culture there?
No.
Okay. And you're raising it from a what to a what in a what level county?
0 to a 1 in a 1 level county.
Okay. That means it's going to cost you 1 and 1. Does House Morgan have an order asset here?
Yes.
Yes, it has a level 1 order asset.
Okay, let me get into this for a second. Yeah.
Oh.
Y'all sing for heroes. So I think I support this. But we might have to talk about Cadelania in the future.
I look forward to that discussion.
That's going to drop your difficulty from what was an 11 to a 10 because Husborgen was nice to you. And it's almost worse when they're nice, right?
Not sure what's going on, but I mean, I also think that his people on being supportive might also affect his opinion of us to a degree.
Right, your loyalty is different. How much does that modify the roll? It's
They're cooperative right now.
so
Okay.
that brings you down to a 9.
Wow.
You can spend on this.
I really don't want to fail right now.
Well, let me just remind you that you can still
fine.
spend and fail anyway.
I know, it's true.
You can do everything right and still fail.
We've already had a bad start today. Let's, I will spend 3 wealth and 2 influence, I'm sorry, to bring it down 5. So I believe that changes it to a 4. DC 4, okay. And I have, my culture affects this roll. So I have to literally roll
fail
a
on a
1. I have to roll.
You've already done that once.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of.
Oh, wait. How much did you spend? Because you're using an advisor to do this. And your advisor's rating is a 3. You didn't spend more than 3 of either thing, you're fine.
Correct. Yes. So as long as it's not above the 3 of either, it's fine.
Yes, your secretary is limited.
Understood. Okay. Well, then I think we're set. I'm gonna roll.
Roll.
I rolled a 2, but plus 3, that's a 5. So that succeeds. Why are you mean to me today?
You rolled a 2 plus 3. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. But as far as you're needing to roll at least a 2, anyway, we're good. 2 is fine. You only failed on a 1. So raise that asset.
Yes.
That's going to affect your wealth, your
Yes.
your corruption potentially.
Which county is that?
Haggard's Dale.
Everybody who is in Haygord's Dale, please note that. All right, everybody, set yourselves up for the Grand Princess's turn.
We should really have like masquerade ball masks for her turn.
I have several things that I want to do, but I definitely want to attend the festival. I would like to use a free action to hire an advisor. I'm putting an ad out for I suppose, a culture advisor.
Anybody have an opinion about that?
Excellent idea, Your
Very
Highness.
wise for diplomatic decisions.
Don't say too much.
When you say a diplomatic advisor, a culture advisor is what you're going for?
Yeah. Well, I said culture anyway, but you know.
Oh, I'm just out of my mind. Tell me my name, and then maybe I'll know what I'm talking about.
Mercia Stewart.
This is quite a mix of cultures.
Well, they're probably half elven to symbolize the coming together of the elves and the humans. I would want, a person who I feel could breach or, both,
Relate.
yes, relate to both groups.
Mercia is the elven name, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How much you want to pay for good old Mercia?
I would like to pay 2 gold and 2 influence. Or I guess wealth. Not necessarily.
For a +2.
Yes.
And what else would you like to do?
Well, I would like to attend. I would like to also, in addition to the festival that is being thrown, I would like to hold an additional festival in Lightborn to celebrate the occasion.
Okay. So you're talking the free action 5 gold kind of festival, right?
Right, exactly.
Do we afford such an expense?
Yes. I think the joy of the people is what matters here.
And their happiness and support.
You see, Lord High Chamberlain, Cadelania is mighty, and we do not need to concern ourselves with things like expense.
Well, you don't, but that's literally my job. So.
And should we increase the loyalty of the people, it can only help us to later increase our wealth, Lord Chamberlain.
Yes, you must spend money to make money, Chamberlain. What else would you like I to do and you to do, Your Highness?
Well, I would like to spend this month to celebrate and attend the festivals, both the one that I've thrown and the one that is being thrown.
You are doing this, or I am doing this?
I am doing this. I would like to.
Culture. You sure you are doing this? I am not doing this?
I thought it was culture or order.
All right, culture or order. Fine. So when you say you go to party, you mean you go to party. I don't go to party.
Well, I think it's important for the people to realize that I am here and amongst them and working for their benefit. I feel that the people have not seen me enough in a administrative capacity, so I need to show myself more and to work on so that they won't see as much of a gap. They'll feel.
Your Highness, people mostly say you need make baby. Must be heir.
Well, all the more reason to go to a party to meet.
Grand Princess has spoken her wishes.
Oh, okay.
Question her.
So this party is to have multiple agendas.
You must go to parties in order to make babies.
As are most of our parties, Lord Chamberlain.
So if I am not invited to party, what I should do, Your Highness?
I can give them any domain or any action, correct? So I can have.
Yes, but I favor going to party.
You can issue an edict, correct?
Oh yes, I can issue edict. Yes. Executive order. I am executive.
Well, I would like you to issue an executive order, an edict, that we will be raising our court.
So more party.
More people are invited to the party, yeah.
Maybe I get an invitation. Okay.
So keep in mind this will be an ongoing expense.
Yes, I'm aware. I
Okay.
just want to raise it one level.
Okay, you've already paid for the advisor, so you have 2 more actions that we're resolving. First, you're going to the party, you're applying your order rating. It costs some money. I've been rolling the money. I'll keep rolling the money. It is 2. Yes.
Okay.
And you do have to make a roll with your order rating of what, 3? I think
Yes.
you only need to roll a 2 or higher.
Do you want me to roll?
Oh, well, since you put it like that, I guess not.
If it's anything up,
2, 19.
Oh,
19.
damn, I was close.
Yeah, to that bonus influence. Well, except this isn't a faction action
Yeah,
anyway.
you don't get it for that. I remember that.
The edict does not require a roll, but does cost you 1 wealth.
Yes.
And you can raise it by 1 level.
Yes. That's what I want to do.
And that is the end of the first month, right?
Yeah.
It's a long month.
Everybody.